to the Board of Trustees meeting, November 8th, 2023. I'm Lyle Oxiger, Chair. I'll call the meeting to order. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Do I have a motion to approve the agenda?
I so move.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. That motion carries. Do I have a motion to approve the consent agenda, which consists of the minutes of the October 4th, 2023 District Board meeting?
So moved. I second that.
I have a motion and a second to approve the consent agenda. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. And that motion carries. Public comment. I'm told that we have no public comment. We do have one. We do have one public comment. You step to the microphone. Martin,
Oh.
welcome. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, board. It's just such an honor to be here. I'm Martin Lind. I'm the developer of Discovery Air and the Water Valley companies, which have Rain Dance and Water Valley, Pelican Lakes golf courses. And our company is very tangible to Northern Colorado. And obviously I've been here before, I've spoke before, and I have a lot of history with Ames. I have a older brother that graduated through the auto class here, probably, you know, he's a lot older than me, probably 40 years ago. And he ended on going on and having a great career. And this is a guy that couldn't get a 1.1 GPA at his school. So you guys do great work here. So my kind of people. For the Discovery Air project today, under the public comment period, I just want to tell you, how excited we are. And as a board, I sit on a lot of boards myself, and I don't get to see the face of the tangibility behind the scene. And so in the back of the room is the team that we have for Discovery Air. We have architects, builders. We have PCL who built our first hangar that you all toured. One thing that I wanted to, make a point of is that our first hangar was built right in the gut of COVID. We pulled permits in January. This team put that building up under budget, on time, wearing masks, wearing gloves, 6-foot separations, all this stuff, and we got it all done on time and on budget. Our tenants were thrilled. You guys saw the quality of the building. We're super excited for the opportunity to pull off this project for you. I was at an airport board meeting a year and a half ago, maybe, and I saw it first presented. And then in communication with Eric, when the grant system failed, it was just a gut punch because this industry is so needed. These students to go into that industry, it is so needed. And so when we got Eric over and we started asking questions, I just took lead and I had our architects throw what I thought would be a kind of a cool concept of having you guys be the front door to the airport. And I think you know this, but Lindbergh Drive isn't finished yet, but it will be to the roundabout at Crossroads and Rocky Mountain. So right now, when you get off the interstate and you go west on Crossroads, it's a big, big roundabout and it only goes south to the hospital or to Centera. The long-term plans, which are already engineered, and Loveland has told us it's in the 26 budget to build Lindbergh north. So Discovery Air will be the first thing you see when you come in, and your campus will be the very first thing on our project. And that's why we added the extra architecture and we did that extra thing up there. But, you know, a first impression is really important. Can't think of anything better than to have Ames as our anchor school over at that airport. I will tell you, I've sat on your foundation board, and I don't know if Kelly's here, but there she is. God bless her. I got off the board during COVID because it was kind of a pointless. Nobody even knew if their business was going to survive, and it was hard to find benevolence. But in this industry, the industry is starving for the product that you're going to produce. And I have met with Eric, and in fact, because of some vacations and time, we didn't make it, but there's a very, very large aviation employer in Grand Junction that's very interested in these students and endowing this program. And I know that the industry, I've never seen an easier place to go get attention. How can we help is always the answer. So I'm super excited about this. I'm really happy for Eric. He's an excellent face of your company. He's an excellent steward of the industry. What he's done with the flight school is amazing. And so we're hoping that the board receives this and sees the value, and we're excited and here to help. So thank you.
Thank you, Martin.
Yep.
Appreciate it. Okay, thank you again, Martin. Next on the agenda is presentations from guests and representatives to the board. First up is Excellence at Ames, and Dana Jones will be presenting, I believe, today.
Good afternoon, Board of Trustees. I am Dana Jones, the Assistant Dean of Students, and I am here on behalf of Shannon McCaslin, who is the Dean of Students. She had a family situation, so she asked me to introduce our students. So I have the privilege of introducing you to a really cool student that we have recently gotten to know at Early College Academy. Natalie Luisa Valenzuela is a senior at our fully integrated high school campus, which through a unique partnership between Ames and District 6 gives students the opportunity to earn an associate degree and a high school diploma simultaneously. Natalie will walk across both commencement stages in May of 2024. Until then, she continues to embody the Ames All-In slogan. She serves as Vice President for the National Honor Society chapter at ECA, as well as Editor-in-Chief of the yearbook. As if that's not enough, she was selected for leadership role on the District 6 Board of Education Council of Student Representatives. From the time she was in middle school, Natalie set her mind on going straight A's in all of her classes, and that's exactly what she has done. She plans to go into healthcare after earning her bachelor's degree. I have no doubts that's what she'll do. But I'll stop here and introduce you to our remarkable Natalie.
Good afternoon, Board of Trustee members, President Bornstein, staff, and guests. As Dana Jones said, my name is Natalie Loaiza Valenzuela, a senior at Early College Academy. I will take the next few minutes to briefly talk about the impact ECA has had on me. About 4 years ago, I remember walking into ECA's open house for new students. Both my parents and I were curious about learning what ECA had to offer. I remember being told in 5th grade that I wouldn't be able to succeed at ECA because of how hard it was. I was afraid that if I ended up going to ECA, I was going to prove that person right, but my parents encouraged me to make that decision on my own. Now, that wasn't the only reason I was questioning whether or not ECA was going to be the high school I would attend. At the time, I was also debating whether or not going to Greeley Central because of their focus on their health sciences program. We went to ECA with open minds and listened to a brief presentation of what ECA offered, what the mix of high school and college courses would look like, and were even able to tour the small school. Throughout the presentation, my parents and I were amazed of what a student at ECA would be able to accomplish in just 4 years. Not only would I obtain my high school diploma, but also my Associates of Arts degree. That's about 2 years worth of college credit in the span of high school. I am a first-generation college student, so to my family and I, this meant so much because it made us wonder of what I could accomplish. The cherry on top that night, however, was that in great ECA fashion, I had a quiz. Later on, I found out that it was to see what Spanish class I would be a better fit for if I had decided to attend ECA. When I got home that night, I talked to my parents to see what they thought of the school, and unsurprisingly, we had similar thoughts. That night, I made the decision that ECA, for all the right reasons, was going to be the high school I spent the next 4 years of my life. My start at ECA was definitely the complete opposite of what I imagined. It was when everyone was experiencing the effects of COVID. I had never felt nervousness and excitement at the same time. With only being a freshman and starting college classes like financial literacy, Spanish 2, and American government, I was definitely nervous. I was especially nervous for Spanish 2 because for some reason I was very intimidated. It was a weird feeling because even though Spanish is my first language, I didn't know what to expect at the college level. But little did I know that after Spanish 2, I went on to Spanish 3 and then to the highest level, Spanish 4, which then led me being able to receive the Colorado Seal of Biliteracy. Through just this one class, I came out with friendships, but also a relationship with my professor. She, and along with the other professors and teachers, had a type of passion that made sure that the college coursework was something we could succeed in. I think they know that having a mix of high school credit and college classes was something that for 14-year-old was out of the ordinary, but still possible. They knew it was hard for us, and despite all the challenges and obstacles, they made sure we continued to strive to do our very best. The relationships I have gained with them have not only encouraged me to take on opportunities, but also take on new challenges. They have all shown a type of attentiveness and care for me that I can go to any one of them for advice. Whether that be help on homework or just life in general, you can always count on them, even after school hours. Now, I can probably go on, but I want to put everything in perspective. Next fall, I plan on attending Colorado Mesa University in Grand Junction. I have an advantage that most other high school graduates don't have. I have gained confidence in knowing what a college environment is like and the relationships I can build with college professors. I will be able to jump right into taking classes for my major that later on leads to a doctorate in physical therapy. Because of ECA and AIMS, I have been able to take advantage of many unique opportunities that have taught me so much. That is what I know has helped me become the person I am today, and it surely was what gave me this opportunity to be speaking to you all. The partnership between AIMS and District 6 also has allowed me to participate in the Career Exploration Internship Program this past summer. I worked with Sunrise Community Health Clinic and learned valuable skills like communication, teamwork, and leadership. As I am finishing up my senior year, I can't help but think of the great memories I have made, from starting traditions with friends after finals week, or long nights staying up getting an assignment turned in before 11:59 p.m. I will always think back to the high school that was able to give me those unforgettable memories. A small decision that in 8th grade led me to ECA. Thank you for your continued support of Early College Academy.
Natalie, thank you very much. Congratulations on attaining your goals. And we wish you all the best in your continued education, and always remember where you started, right here at Ames College.
I will.
All right, represent us well.
Thank
This
you.
is a small token of our appreciation for you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, what fun. Next is Student Government Association, Jared Polito. Welcome, Jared.
Good afternoon, distinguished members of the board, cabinet members, Chair Oxiger and Dr. Bornstein. It's been a really exciting semester. We've had a lot of great accomplishments and activities so far. CAP had the honor of hosting the annual trick-or-treat track where students and families can go, and we had it to where they could set up a table and decorate it and enter to win a complimentary pizza party. Our winners for that was the Student Ames Game Club with a Super Mario theme, and then the Employee Services table that had a Trolls theme. But just on a personal note for that, to show you kind of the good things about it, I was able to take my son, and I actually had met another single dad there. We're both pursuing the same path, and he was also a veteran as well. So that was really impactful for me to meet other people, so I didn't feel so alone in my path. Additionally, SGA, we hosted a super successful town hall. We had probably more feedback than we've almost ever gotten. There was over 150 attendees there, and it was super exciting. Students enjoyed coming by and they actually were eager to leave feedback for us. We're also proud to announce that 2 of our student leaders are traveling to the Collegiate Recovery Leadership Academy Summit in Washington, D.C. And if you're not familiar with the Collegiate Recovery Leadership Academy, it's an academic year-long fellowship program for students who are passionate about the intersection of addiction and mental health recovery, leadership, and advocacy. The students who are accepted into the CRLA will be implementing a recovery-focused impact project on the campus. They receive advocacy training, they attend 2 in-person events, and then they're a part of a supportive cohort of peers around the country. And it's a very competitive application process where only 50 students are actually selected around the country. And we're also very excited that 4 of our CAP members are going to be traveling to the National Association of Student Activities Conference in San Francisco on November 29th. And that's to start the spring semester with a bunch of fresh new ideas to bring awesome events here at Ames. And then today, CAP has also hosted a Narcan training that was in the student commons. I believe it's still going on, but we had a Zoom option as well for students who couldn't attend. And then to wrap up the CAP events for this semester, you're all invited to attend the first ever Artie's Winter Lights. And it's an event on November 27th from 4:45 to 7 p.m. It's going to be outside of the Allied Health and the Student Commons buildings. Students and employees are both invited to host a booth to decorate with just awesome lights and winter themes. And then the attendees are going to have hot cocoa and hot apple cider. And during the event, we also partnered with the care team student employees, and they're going to be hosting like an arts and crafts winter theme, and that's going to be in the student commons lobby. It's kind of like the trick or treat track. The best booth is going to have a chance to win a unique Artie's Artie's Snow Globe trophy. But on that note, I mean, that's some of the exciting stuff that we're doing. And then really thank you for your time and thank you for letting me be here. Is there any questions?
Any questions of Jared? Okay, well, it sounds like some great times ahead.
Thank you so much.
Appreciate
And
it.
thank you
Thank
for your
you.
time.
Appreciate it. And next is Ames Faculty Association, Ryan Maeda. Welcome, Ryan.
Thanks for having me here. Good afternoon, Chair Oxiger, trustees, Dr. Bornstein, and guests. As I mentioned last time I was here, my goal for this year was to give you a glimpse into the lives of our faculty and keep you apprised of the great things that are going on with your faculty. This month, and I'm going to eventually get good at this PowerPoint thing, and I'm going to get you pictures, but we haven't made it there yet. But this month, I'd like to introduce you to Adam Sanfelice. Adam joined the Ames business faculty as a part-time instructor in 2008 and accepted a full-time position in 2016. He holds a master's in business administration, a bachelor's in business management, and an associate's degree in hospitality management. Adam brings more than 20 years of business experience into the classroom and to continue to stay current with best practices through his personal ownership of his own business in tutoring and consulting. He also continues to stretch his knowledge through reading and listening to articles and studying. And yes, he continues to take classes. He has found a video service called Wondrum, where professors from various colleges present their entire courses. So yes, he does sit and watch videos for 30 plus hours to get through these courses. Some of his favorites so far are critical thinking, astrophysics, philosophy, and certain formulas and specific numbers in mathematics. Who knew that there was classes on a number in mathematics? Not me. In his free time, he likes to hike, play basketball, bike, soccer, and work out. He has summited more than 10 14ers with no plans of stopping anytime soon. He has some boys who are very active that he enjoys to watch doing the things that they love. He also, which I love this, is a volunteer coach for a nonprofit basketball team called the Colorado Wave, which is a low-cost organization that allows kids with no financial support to still play basketball. He has various intellectual hobbies as well. He's a beginner star watcher. And in his words, he loves all things geek, from Marvel to DC to Dungeons and Dragons and everything in between. Throughout his years at Ames, he has chaired and served on numerous committees, and he has also been a favorite for mentoring new faculty. Adam says that he loves being a part of a place where he can spend as much time as he needs to help his students and his coworkers be successful. Last but not least, Adam was named Faculty of the Year by his peers through the AFA for the 2022-23 academic year. Other fun things that the faculty are working on. As you can see from your report, we welcomed more than 20 new faculty to Ames this semester. And I know that list is always growing. And the majority of those that I'm aware of have all been because of program growth and not just replacement. Many moons ago, this is some of the other things that faculty is working on. Ames adopted 5 CLOs, or common learning outcomes, which are assessed through the college. Some of you guys may have been here for the adoption of those, and maybe some of you haven't been. But CLOs are common learning outcomes, and they include oral communication, written communication, professionalism, problem solving, and critical thinking. So you might be asking why me as the faculty rep is bringing this up. It's because it has been charged to our faculty to continue to weave these 5 key learning outcomes into our courses and to assess them and use those assessment tools to create continuous improvement within our courses and our programs. Our objective is that any students completing a degree or program here at Ames will receive these tools as a seamless part of their education. So a couple weeks ago, Andrea DeCosmo, who's here, she hosted an assessment summit to help some of us new chairs and faculty understand the assessment process and ensure that the faculty are keeping those CLOs at the forefront of our mind, and that we're always asking the question on how in our specific areas of study we can continue to weave these into our content and our criteria so that we can guarantee that our students are equipped with these skills as they exit Ames. So that's what I have for you today. Any questions from you guys?
Any questions?
Awesome. Well, thank
Nope,
you guys.
great report. Thank you very much. Last but not least, Mr. Ross Perkins, Ames Staff Association. Welcome, Ross.
Thank you very much, everyone. Board of Trustees, good afternoon. Yes, afternoon now. Guests, Dr. B. So today, just want to kind of highlight some happenings that ASA is working on. Last month, a couple weeks ago, we had a popcorn appreciation for all the staff. So we distributed almost a little over 500 bags of popcorn to staff, including part-time staff, full-time staff, and contingent and some student workers. So we're trying to include everybody. So that was great. We had a lot of, not only the ASA's leadership team came together to organizing, put it together, but we also had volunteers from staff who just wanted to help. And so that was great thing. And I thought there was some popcorn for the board, but I'm not sure where it went. We'll keep that in mind next time, okay? And it's mom's popcorn, so it's delicious. We had all kind of great flavors and things like that. Just another reminder too that we have volunteer opportunities through the ASA. The next one coming up is the Will County Food Bank, and this will be on November 17th. And as you know, the Will County Food Bank supports our Artist Pantry, and so this is a way that we can give back to that through the Will County, through our volunteers. And we have time that we can use as staff and to volunteer. So take advantage of those opportunities. Something that's coming up that just sort of came out of one of our ASA meetings, Patty Schultz, as I talked about a couple of meetings ago, mentioned the need for personal hygiene products for our students for the Artist Pantry. And so working with AFA, SGA and the ASA, we're going to be doing a personal hygiene roundup. So you'll see information about that coming out pretty soon. We'll probably do it the week after Thanksgiving break and do it for 2 weeks. I think that's going to be the plan. So there'll be a lot of marketing going on, and then we'll have boxes and things at every building and every campus so that they can drop that off. So that hopefully we can get enough to last a year. We'll see how that goes. So just planting a seed right now. So if you're in Costco or Sam's or Walmart, you can pick up some shampoos and things like that. Okay. One of the things that ASA does as part of our charter is we oversee the scholarships, 2 scholarships really, one for students to purchase books and the other for the College for Kids to pay for Ames employees' kids to go to the College for Kids program. So I wanted to provide just a kind of a brief context, and I think I've mentioned this before, is, Dr. B in one of our meetings talked about how is ASA supporting students. And so this is an example. So I'm going to just briefly read a letter. So bear with me for a moment here. But this is a letter from Jaslyn Guzman, who is a student here, on receiving the ASA scholarships to pay for her books. So I'm just going to briefly read it here. So to start off, I want to express my gratitude for being chosen for this scholarship. I was screaming for joy when I got the congratulations email for the scholarship. I'm a mother of a little 7-year-old angel and 2 babies above, rooting for me to finish. This should and will be my last semester at Ames Community College, as I plan to be walking across the stage in May, so just in a few months. This scholarship is so important to me for helping me pay for my last semester. It will help me purchase my books along with my lab kits. I have to finish 1 more elective and 1 more science class, then I will have successfully completed my degree. I am so thankful for this blessing. I'm going to skip a little part here. I'd like to leave off with one last thing, how thankful I am for this, for the donors who invested in the money and the time for me to finally succeed. Look out, world. Jaslyn Guzman will have a associate's in liberal arts in a blink of an eye. Thank you for your time and investing in my future, sincerely. So I wanted to share that with y'all. And finally, I would be remiss if I didn't mention the ripples in recognition. Please take some time to look at that. If you had a chance to read that, you will see some of the great things that our staff and faculty are doing here at Ames. Thank you very much. Do you have any questions? Yes.
Got a question?
Yes, on the hygiene roundup, is that happening at every campus or?
Every
just-
campus, every building.
Okay, and then is there any way to get a list to Jerry or Dr. B? on
So
that?
there will be a list. So that'll be part of the marketing campaign, exactly what they need. And so we're working with Patty Schultz and Jeff Batch to put that together. So that'll be coming out here. We'll be sending it to Jerry for the board, and then also working through, I believe, the Ames administrator group, so that every single person will have an opportunity to contribute to this roundup. Okay, and I'm not sure if it's called the roundup. That's just what I've been calling it, and it seems to stuck. So, thank you very much, and y'all have a great day.
Thank you, Ross.
Thank
Okay, next on the agenda is action items. Action item A&P Program and Aircraft Maintenance Training Center. Eric Himmler, Director of Aviation. Welcome, Eric.
Chair Oxiger, Board of Trustees, Dr. Bornstein, guests, thanks for having me here again. Much appreciated. My name's Eric Himmler. I'm the Director of Aviation here at Ames. I'd like to thank, first of all, Alex, our aviation team, and our academic dean, Susan, for getting us here to this point to be able to present this action item. I'd also like to thank Martin and his entire team back there for not only being here, but for the support as well in getting us to this point. So today, action item 7A, the name of the item is A&P Program and Aircraft Maintenance Training Center. We're here to review the opportunity for Ames Community College to launch an airframe and power plant program, A&P, also referred to as an aircraft mechanic technician school and associated aircraft maintenance training center, located in Northern Colorado Regional Airport as part of the Discovery Air Campus. This program would complete the aviation ecosystem, as we call it, and support the local, state, and national need for aircraft mechanics. So for the fiscal impact, regardless if we lease or if we purchase, there will be a one-time upfront cost of roughly $7.5 million. If we decide to own, there'll be a 14.3 additional million, which is the recommended option. And we anticipate to be on the positive side of revenue with 75 students at year 5. If we decide to lease, it would be an additional cost of 1.4 million annually. The administrative recommendation is to approve the startup and creation of an Ames A&P program with the purchase of an associated aircraft maintenance training center at construction completion from the Water Valley Company. I really appreciate your time and consideration today.
Thank you very much, Eric. Are there any questions of Eric? I know you presented a lot of information to us over the last few months. Done an incredible job of presenting it. I think you've anticipated most of our questions. And so I thank you for that. And if there are no further questions, I think we'll proceed. But before I do that, every once in a while, we have to do a housekeeping item when we're on these boards. And because of our friendships and relationships with people, I have to ask Trustee Howard if he has a statement to make on this motion.
Thanks, Chair. This is a no-brainer. Okay. This is the first time I've ever had an opportunity to see something cash flow so quickly in relative time. There's the obvious need for the industries there. I know there's going to be a conduit of people coming our way from this and rewards from it. I believe for the board, for the college, this is a very positive move moving forward. Martin and his group, they're visionaries, and we had a discussion years back about originally purchasing the ground south of the Windsor campus. That kind of folded for a year or two or three or four, and then it came back and we made the right decision. But he was insightful enough to hold on to that property. He probably could have sold it, but he knew it was the best thing for Ames. I really believe his heart is with this motion, this idea, this community in Northern Colorado. He's an uplifting person. I've known Martin for going on 35, 36 years when our kids were in diapers. And I'm bouncing along in I don't know, maybe a Bronco with a bunch of people, and he's showing me Water Valley, unbuilt. And you look at what happened today. I think he cares about Weld County, cares about Larimer County, cares about our community. He's one of the most important assets as a visionary that we share. I also, in my life, 7.5 years ago in Buenos Aires, I'm getting ready to cross the street, and this big arm comes out and does a block. And I would have been smattered on the grill of this bus, literally. I think his description said, "What that would have taken a wire brush to get you off." And I've known this person so long that, and our kids, our sons are twins in different halves. They've gotten each other in and out of trouble. We don't even want to count the times. And he's just, Martin's perfect for this. This idea is perfect for this. But I know Martin very well. I don't want to have the appearance that I shouldn't vote on this. I'm going to abstain from the vote because I'm in favor of it fully. But I read abstaining versus recusal. And really an abstain is, you're with the team, but better judgment, my friendship, we've never traded money together. It's been a wonderful life. You know, another quick story is, Dad, can I go to Cabo after Christmas? You know, how do you get into Cabo? Oh, Martin's jet. I go, how do you say no to that? He's 16 years old. So he's been a great influence on my son, this community. And I can't say anything more positive about his group and his organization. He cares about us specifically. Kelly, I think you got a new foundation member. You never do. So that's all I have to say. Thank you.
Mark, thank you very much. And just for the record, I think, I appreciate your sentiment. I appreciate everything good we all do, all the wonderful things you've said about Martin. So let the record show that you're recusing yourself from this vote. Yep, abstaining, I'm sorry. I misspoke. Abstaining from the vote. Thank you for that. So having said that, if there's no other questions of Eric or any other comments, do I have a motion to approve the startup and creation of an Ames A&P program with the purchase of the Associated Aircraft Maintenance Training Center at construction completion from the Water Valley Company?
I so move to approve the startup creation of the Ames A&P program with the purchase of the Associated Aircraft Maintenance Training Center.
We have a motion
I completely second the motion.
and we have a complete second. Okay. Any other comments? Well, I just want to say something. I think this is a great program. I'm not going to let you off the hook. I think this is a great program. I think this has a great future for the aviation department at Ames Community College, and will complete the circle of almost everything aviation that we can think of. And I think it's going to speak extremely well for Ames, not only locally, but across the nation. We've already had people in the states far, far away from Colorado talking about the Ames aviation program. So we owe that to Eric and all your group, and to people like Martin back there that support our program and support our college. And I will definitely be voting yes on this. So with that, I will call the question. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? That motion carries. Congratulations, Ames College.
Thank you.
Okay. It's a wonderful day at Ames. Next action item is the Board of Trustees meeting and retreat dates for 2024. Jerry, I'll turn it over to you.
Thank you, Chair Oxiger. At the last board meeting over in Windsor, we discussed this proposed draft of meeting dates and retreat dates for 2024. And asked everybody to take a look at their calendar and see if there were any conflicts. I didn't hear back from anybody, so that version, that draft version of the calendar is in your packet. I won't go through it line by line, but I'll just reiterate the key pieces of it, that it will be, the dates will be set for the second Wednesday of each month, except for March and May. And then we have the different retreat dates settled in there as well. So if there are any questions, I'd be happy to answer them. And other than that, I'll give it back to you, Chair Oxiger.
Okay. No questions? Everybody set? And I'll abstain from that. Okay, next on the agenda is I'm sorry.
We still need action from the board.
Oh my gosh, I'm still so excited. Okay, so having no questions, I need a motion to approve the meeting dates. Motion from Mark.
And I'll second it.
And we have a second from Heidi. Okay, any other comments? Hearing none, all in favor say aye. Aye, opposed, same sign, and that motion carries. Okay, next on the agenda, information items. Events calendar and upcoming work session agenda items. Jerry, I'll turn it over to you.
Thank you, Chair Oxiger. The first thing we'll cover in your packet is the upcoming events. I'll just cover a couple of them here. The first one is going to be the honors ceremony on December the 1st. I have listed there the attendees as of publishing of this. I know I've heard back from a couple other folks. This might be a little bit out of date, but just as a reminder, honor ceremony on December 1st. The graduate dinner is on December the 6th. And then commencement will be on December the 8th here in the Welcome Center. I also wanted to note the Gateway Building ribbon cutting and reception will be on the Windsor campus in the new Gateway Building on December the 13th. The specific times and additional details are still being worked out. So as soon as I get those, I'll pass those on to everybody so that you can attend and know what to expect. And looking forward to the December board meeting, plenty of items coming up. I won't go through all of them listed there on your annual calendar of events. But of course, one of the main things that will be happening is we will be swearing in new board members. I'll cover that a little bit in the next item, but the swearing in of new members and action regarding that will take place at the next meeting.
All right, any questions of Jerry on that? Okay, moving on, you want to go ahead and do the election update, Jerry?
I do. Thank you again, Chair Oxiger. As a designated election official, I coordinated the board's election with the counties of Weld, Adams, Broomfield, Larimer, Logan, and Morgan. The unofficial election results as of this morning, when I checked, District A, Trustee Heidi Wendell, running for re-election. Running unopposed, had, as of this morning, 32,267 votes. For District B, Janine Tresswell, running unopposed, had 32,625 votes. And for District E, there were 3 candidates. As of this morning, the totals, John W. Hafley, 13,453, Jennifer Patrick, 12,593, and Joseph Bodine, 10,604. Those have updated a little bit, just checking them over the lunch break. Please note that these are unofficial results per Colorado Revised Statute 1-10-202I. The canvass board from each county has until November the 29th, which is 22 days after the election, to certify the official abstract of votes to the designated election official. After certification has been received by all the counties, I will notify each successful candidate of their official certified election win. Each of the elected trustees for 2023 will be sworn in again at the December 13th board meeting, which will be held at the Windsor campus in the new Gateway building. And I'd be happy to answer any questions if you have them.
Any questions of Jerry? Okay, thank you, Jerry. Next, ACCT annual conference takeaways. I guess I'll start that one off. We attended the conference in Vegas. It was a good conference, as they always are. Sometimes you think you get a lot of the same information because you do. But a lot of the times it's presented by different people. You certainly have different attendees there that can present different perspectives on the information presented. I attended several conferences or breakaway sessions, I guess. And I guess one of the takeaways for me is a big one is that we're doing a whole lot of things right. And I know I've said this before, I say this when I come back, but we're doing an amazing number of things right. We have a lot of people, when you get in these conversations, especially the side conversations after a breakout session, when you get in these side conversations, people are wondering how in the world we do all of the things that we do, or so many of the things we do at least. So it's fun to interface with those people. It's fun to tell them how we do things. It's fun to get other ideas and bring them back to Dr. B on things that we're doing. I think one of the more interesting ones I went to was about a college who had a theft. Hattie, I think you were in on that one. That was just amazing how these people came to work one morning and started their day, and as they always do, thought they were talking to the normal people or at least agencies that they were talking to, and come to find out they were talking to somebody else, weren't they? And these people were trading information and asking for information and getting account numbers, and this went on for a good part of the day. And over the course of that day, these people over the phone, what was the figure? Just under $1 million that they stole from this college. I mean, technically they did it legally because, so I tell you, it makes us appreciate our security, folks, our IT folks. It really does. I know hearing from their IT people, all of the stuff that they had in place, and they still suffered this loss. It gives me a real appreciation for what our folks, Brad and our team and everybody does. So, kudos, to all you folks. And, I think anything comes across on the budget item on that side of the table, I think I would probably approve at this point. It's scary stuff. So now maybe is your chance. I don't know. And then I had the real honor of sitting with Dr. B on a panel that we participated in on challenges of the administration and the board, some of the challenges that we face. It was incredibly interesting to talk about some of those challenges we've been faced with and that we've been able to overcome and resolve. And then to hear shortly thereafter, we didn't get to spend a whole lot of time talking. We spent most of our time listening and hearing the challenges from other folks, and then kind of presenting our insight to it. So that was interesting, very interesting as well. And again, the challenges that they're faced with out there in other colleges, in many cases are very, very similar to what we face here. So I would recommend to any of you when you're at these conferences to talk to people from other colleges about their challenges and what they're faced with and what they do. And then one last takeaway is I was asked to be a mentor for another college board chair. So I was incredibly honored by that. I felt really good about that. And she said that was based mostly on the story that we told and the challenges that we faced and where we've taken our college and what we've done with it and what we do for our students. And so I was incredibly honored by that. And I was proud enough of that. I wanted to share it with you. So that's my story and I'm sticking to it. Who wants to go next?
I forgot my notes, but it was a great conference. Always learn a lot, meet a lot of people. In the one topic about the college, I think it was in Cape Cod, Cape Cod Community College. So thank you, IT security. I mean, that's very important. It was amazing. The gentleman of their IT even put out, he had some, I don't know, something, I'm going to say thingamajigger, and everyone received something on their phone. So it bypassed everyone's phone and everyone got a message. It was something just fun. So it's easy to do. So it was kind of eye-opening. So I still am a big component of diversity, equity, and inclusion. And I went to a couple talks on that, and it has changed nationwide where people are going. But I truly would like to say with Ames, I'm really pleased that we're still kind of holding true for equity and inclusion and diversity, and that's still important to our campus. I think that shows that we serve everyone, and it was very fun to go with Marilyn and Lyle and Dr. Bornstein and Jerry on a conference. So I appreciate it and thank everyone for letting us go.
It was in Vegas and we still came home. So I would just echo, I think for me, and it was the first conference that I've attended, it was a confirmation of how strong Ames is and solid, and listening to some of the other colleges and challenges that they have, starting financial, everything to other resources and IT. And so Brad, you're kind of at the center, because I went to a couple other, one on ransomware and one on cybersecurity. And one of the biggest challenges that I think many of the colleges are facing is just that of what technology and the ability to lose everything in an hour. And it's not an hour in total, right? It's a whole lot. And then all of a sudden it's done. And so I think, that was something that would scare anyone. And I mean, I work in a world that's so important. And so thanks to you and your team of what you do here. And I think it's something that we have to continue to invest in and have a very acute awareness of what that can do to the college, to the community at large. And so I really appreciated those sessions. DEI, I did go to a planning DEI in succession. I thought that was very beneficial. Just a little bit different view in the DEI perspective and what some of the colleges are doing in preparation at a staff level, faculty level, and cabinet level. And so I thought that was a great way to look at how do you grow your own, and then how do you make sure you're incorporating some of the DEI. And then, as Lyle said, spending time with other representatives, trustees, cabinet, or presidents of colleges, it all kept circling around for me about how strong Ames is and how lucky we are to have this college in our community, and that our forefathers set it up the way it did for that stability. And so, again, thank you for allowing me to go. It was a great conference.
Dr. Bean?
So the sessions that I attended and the side conversations I had, I interestingly enough focused on student health centers. So since that's sort of a project that we'll be proposing on our master's plan, that's where I focus my attention. So a couple different models are out there. I think we might be looking at something a little different, but that certainly was where my head was at. And I actually came back with some good questions as we start walking down the path of looking and creating this proposal for you all to consider in the months to come. So that's where my focal point was while we were there. And thank you for allowing Jerry and I to tag along and wrangle you and have some fun. So thanks.
Sure. Yeah, thank you. Thank you for the opportunity. Yeah, I think I would certainly echo what Dr. B just said as far as thank you for the opportunity to go and attend. My main conference sessions were, of course, related to my role as the board liaison. So being able to go into those sessions and network and get to know other people who have a similar position to mine, because I'm the only person here who has this position at Ames. So it's neat to be able to hear perspectives from all across the country of folks who have the similar position. And similar to Chair Oxiger and Trustee Schock, what you both mentioned, it really puts in perspective what we have here at Ames, and being really grateful for that, hearing the stories from other folks across the country. So thanks again for the opportunity to hang out with you guys and learn a bit about this role. So.
Okay, next. Ready? Is the CEO President's report, Dr. Bornstein.
Wonderful. Thank you. As usual, you have highlights from the various divisions in your packets. So before we go to the monitoring reports, is there any questions or clarification that you have within any of the highlights? Nope. Okay. So this is the time of year that we have our annual report from Employee Services. We have our Cleary report, which you'll hear more about. And then following that, we have an update, Ames to UNC report by Dr. Bukowski. So, oh, D is already ready. Look at that. I don't have to say anything more. Employee Services Annual Report, D Schultz.
Good afternoon, trustees and Dr. Bornstein. You have your report in your packet, and so I'll just highlight a few things there. As you all know, employee services consists of multiple functional areas: human resources, Center for Professional Development and Wellness, Title IX and compliance management, employee relations, environmental health, and campus safety and security. Each area plays a critical role in the diverse services provided for employees, students, and visitors. The data provided on page 2, 3, and 4 is similar to what you have received in the past, and is fairly easy to follow. However, I will have a few highlights. On page 2, this data reflects a one-time snapshot, allowing us to compare from one year to the next. Last year's employee headcount was just over 1,100, and this year's headcount is up slightly to just over 1,200. Again, keeping in mind that's a one-time snapshot. The counts between full-time and part-time employees has not changed significantly. Both are up. And when we break these numbers down by the different employee bases, for instance, faculty, staff, and administrators, these numbers are all up as well. There are not any significant changes in the gender, age, tenure, and ethnicity numbers. I've included an addendum to this report with additional disaggregated data for the entire employee pool for your review. So that's at the back of this report. Higher ed industry turnover rates have come down slightly from just under 19% to slightly over 16%. Ames turnover rate has come down to just under 10%, which is well below the industry rates. Compensation and benefits may be playing a role in these results, and we thank you for your support in these efforts. We will be conducting an employee engagement survey in January, which will give us some additional insight as to why employees stay with Ames and identify their level of engagement. On page 3, you have information regarding our employee recruiting efforts. This is an area where we are still feeling the effects of the pandemic. Pre-COVID, our applicant average pool size for full-time positions was holding at 25 to 30, with a range of 10 up to 90 applicants in some pools. Our current applicant pool size is slightly up at 8 compared to last year's average pool size of 7. Both of these years are still below the previous year, which was an average of 12. We continue to feel very fortunate to have 5 to 10 qualified applicants in our pools. In some cases, having 1 or 2 qualified applicants is good. In some cases, we have to extend the job posting several times. This environment continues to make our recruiting efforts challenging, time-consuming, and requires more resources to ensure a successful hire. We will continue to focus on strategies to ensure that we are able to recruit top talent, even if our pools remain small. Yes.
Thank you. D, do we hire about 300 people a year?
We do.
Okay.
That number is based on full-time and part-time employees. Some of these other numbers are based on full-time positions only.
And then, but is that an average or is that up from COVID? Pre-COVID, what was it?
The number of hires we have annually can vary depending on how many vacancies we have, how many new positions we add. You heard earlier that we just hired and onboarded 20 new faculty members. And so some of those were new and some of those were just due to vacancies.
But like.
That's about average.
This is about average.
That's
right?
about
Okay,
average.
thank you. That's all.
Dee, does this also include student workers student employees?
This does not include student employees.
Because it's full-time. also?
Yeah,
Okay.
full-time, yes, and part-time employees.
Thank you.
We hire on average, we average about 180 student employees, and that is currently ran by financial aid student employment office. So as I was mentioning, our strategies will continue to include reviews of our recruiting tactics, compensation, benefits, professional development, cost of living, retention efforts, and even though our turnover rates are below industry average, so we'll continue to review those tactics. Last year's prediction stated that the typical 3 to 4% salary increases may not meet the mark with the current employee market. Our current research efforts will determine if that trend is holding. On another note, internal moves increased from 32% to 50% 2 years ago and is currently holding at 47%. This data reflects employees' desire to continue to develop professionally and stay at Ames. These internal moves include full-time employees changing positions, part-time employees moving into full-time positions, and just an added bonus that's not part of these numbers, we continue to hire students into our full-time positions. A few highlights on page 4. Under Center for Professional Development and Wellness. College-wide events include activities that support what I call professional health or professional development. On-site events may include a 1 to 4 hour training session on various topics such as power of a purpose and Title IX anti-discrimination and bullying training for our supervisors. Not noted in this report are the number of on-demand training opportunities provided, or more accurately, taken advantage of through our Biz Library program. There were over 6,000 training modules completed in Biz Library this past year by our employees. Most of these modules are micro videos ranging from 7 minutes to 30 minutes. Just another form of learning on very specific topics ranging anywhere from conflict of interest to support and working with an Excel spreadsheet. The wellness program includes events on topics related to heart, mental, nutrition, financial health, and activities such as the annual health fair and flu vaccine clinics. This past year, 211 employees took advantage of the tuition waiver and reimbursement benefit. This is a benefit along with the professional development programs that supports personal growth and lifelong learning. Waivers are provided for employees who take courses at Ames. Reimbursements are provided to employees who take courses at an accredited institution, and dependents of full-time employees who take courses at Ames. So it's a great benefit for our employees. The employee recognition programs continue to grow. These programs include Ripples in Recognition, which you hear about each month. Of these nominations, a confidential committee selects a monthly distinguished colleague. This distinguished colleague is recognized by their supervisor, fellow employees, and CPD with a surprised recorded visit. This video is published in the Daily, and the distinguished colleagues are recognized at the annual President's Reception. Another program gives employees the opportunity to recognize a colleague who goes the extra mile, which is an acronym, GEM. You may have heard of that. This employee who is nominated by another employee receives a GEM token, who can then redeem those tokens or purchase items at the gem store located in Cornerstone. Employees can also earn a gem for viewing the Let's Talk videos noted on the next page. On the next page, page 5, you have some information about the HOPE initiative and Talkspace programs, which continue to support employee mental health. Just a reminder, the HOPE initiative is a periodic thematic newsletter sent out to all employees. Some of the themes include spark your passion, embrace balance, and get moving. I just saw in my email that today's newsletter went out. A lot of great information is provided about staying well and healthy. The Talkspace program supports employees and their dependents. This program allows participants to connect with dedicated licensed therapists from a secure HIPAA-compliant mobile app and web platform. Participants can send their therapist text, voice, or video message anytime, anywhere. Additional health programs include the annual health fair, where over 100 employees participated in person to receive flu shots and complete their biometrics. And we had an additional 200 employees and students receive their flu shots at clinics held at each campus. And this was accomplished by partnering with our local healthcare providers. On page 5, you also have information about Title IX, which is a federally mandated program for higher ed institutions. Under this program, all employees and students are required to participate in annual training, ensuring a working and learning environment is free of sex discrimination and sexual harassment. I'll move to page 6. You're familiar with the security services provided by Campus Safety and Security. However, this year, we highlighted some of the environmental health programs provided college-wide. Our building coordinators are employees across the college from each building who volunteer to participate in various training events and drills to support employees, students, and visitors in the building they are located in the case of an emergency. They receive CPR, first aid training, and assist safety and security with annual drills such as fire and tornado. The support that they provide to the college is instrumental into ensuring a safe environment. The last page of this report is new, and it's a summary of the support, services, and resources the employee services teams provide to ensure a safe, healthy, non-discriminatory and harassment learning and working environment, as well as focus on talent acquisition and retention of our employee base. I won't read through all of these, but would like to highlight under employee relations and with CPD support, we are planning to introduce a new program in the next year, which will be a leadership development or enhancement program for new and seasoned employees. In your packet, as I mentioned, that last page is an additional addendum with additional demographic information. And that concludes my report. I guess one last comment I have is as I look at all of these services that we provide and we talk about our budget and, you know, having the budget and having your support to be able to provide this breadth and depth of services for our employees, students, and visitors is quite amazing. Thank you. Any questions?
I don't have a question. I just would like to say this is amazing what you're offering to everyone and everyone's worth it, but it's amazing and it's a breath of fresh air to see a college and a business be so caring for their employees and their staff and students. So I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Any other questions for Dee? Thank you, Dee.
Thank you.
Nice job. Next, John Foltz, who is the director of our campus safety and security, is going to go over our annual Clery report.
Good afternoon, Chair Ossinger, Board, Dr. Bornstein. Going to present 2023 Annual Security Report for everybody. Just a little context on the security report. It's named the Gene Cleary Report after Gene Cleary, who was a student who attended Lehigh University in 1986. Gene was brutally raped on our college campus. And after further investigation, it showed that there was some trending brutal violence that was going on that college campus. So now all institutions that receive federal funds are required to post this report on an annual basis and keep it reported on their website. So part of the Cleary requirements are to collect, count, and classify crime reports and crime statistics for each campus location. So you will see the stats from us that I'll show you at the end that are from all campuses, which includes the Windsor, Loveland, Fort Lupton, and the airport as well. Issue campus alerts. So if we have any warnings or anything that needs to go out, timely warnings, emergency notifications, all those are posted in this report as well. The annual report is posted every year. It has to be posted on the website, and you probably receive the annual notification through your phone or your email by October the 1st. Cleary Act requires Ames Community College to disclose 3 different general categories of crime statistics. Go through those real quick. Reportable crime offenses include that list right there. I'm not going to read each one for you. Arrest and referrals for disciplinary action, where it's alcohol or drug violations, and hate crimes. That one right there, I've been keeping a lot of close watch on. A lot of colleges of the groups I belong to, the forums I belong to, they're seeing a dramatic increase on this based off of what's going on in the world right now. So on campus, clear definitions, any building or property owned or controlled by institutions that covers all of our campuses, non-campus buildings or properties, ECA and any of our students that stayed in the dorms and the Ames to UNC program, those statistics are reflected in that. Also, I work very closely with the Cleary coordinator for UNC to make sure our statistics are on the same page, and students that are in that program are going through both judicial processes if they are recommended for discipline. Public property, we are required to report any crimes. So I pull those from the local police departments. Goes from campus, sidewalk, street, sidewalk. Don't ask me where that definition came from. Cleary made that, not me. But if anything happens within that vicinity of our campus property, we are obligated to report that on the Cleary report. So these are the statistics from this year. Just a reminder with the general categories, the 3 categories there. These crime statistics are from the year of 2022. We're always reflected 1 year back. So I know in 2023, you may have got notification or have heard that we had a couple of auto thefts on campus. Those were in 2023, so those will be reflected on next year's Cleary report. Overall, it's a pretty good safe year. We like to have all those zeros on there, reflect on there. I think that's kudos to my team. Some of those guys are back there. And then I think not just our team, but even the proactive training and things that we do at orientation with our CPD team and our student SACE office to do and orientate our students and let them know the resources they have on campus helps keep these numbers down. Any questions? Yes, sir.
John, you mentioned there's a influx of hate crimes going on across the country on campuses. And that's just 22 stats. Have you seen any of those hate crimes on campus yet this year in 23?
We have not on the Greeley campus or any of the campuses right now. We have not received any reports on that. We were trying to proactive. I worked with Zach and his team to make sure to get some messaging out there to make sure our students knew that this is a safe area and we respect everybody, regardless of what their feelings are or what's going on.
All right, thank you.
Yes.
There hasn't been any threats reported.
Well, we always got some threats going on, but we try to keep those minimized. But as far as related to what's going on across the waters right now. We have not gotten any threats directly to the college or threats that we're aware of.
And the transition from the county sheriffs to what we have now we have an in-house security system, right?
Yes.
System security force.
Yes, and we still have an SRO that's connected to Weld County Sheriff's Office. So we just went from 2 to 1, but we have really increased those relationships with both Greeley and Weld. Greeley gave us an extra thank you to this team and our cabinet and Dr. B for allowing, when they had an officer death, a sudden death, and we were able to, within a week, plan a service for them. And they had about, I think, right about 1,000 law enforcement show up for that service.
Any other questions for John? Thank you, John.
Thank you.
Dr. Pakowski, Vice President of Student Engagement, Inclusion, and Success, to offer an Ames to UNC report.
Here we go.
Mr. Chair, trustees, Dr. B, guest. I have an incredibly hard job of telling you about all the wonderful things that we're doing with our Ames to UNC program here at the college. So just to remind everybody, Ames to UNC actually started as a strategy in the last strategic plan. So it was one of the action items that we had. And I'm going to put the context here as I go through some of the data. The program itself in earnest got started at the start of the pandemic. So as you see the success data, please keep that context that we've done that well, even starting in the midst of a pandemic. So to date, we've had a little over 1,000 students who've applied to participate in the Ames to UNC program. About 816 of those have been admitted. So not everybody that applies qualifies, but that represents an admission rate of about 80%. For the program. And of the students that we've admitted, 707 of them have chose to take part in the program. Throughout the course of the program, liberal arts, psychology, business, and elementary education have remained kind of the most popular transfer majors that we're serving in the program. In terms of participant data by year, you'll see that the program continues to grow, and the caveat that I'm going to put here on that far right group, which is this year, we're only in the fall semester. So we do have the spring and summer yet to go. We do anticipate, based on these numbers for the fall, that we'll continue to see growth in the program moving forward. But you'll see that each year we're having increasing numbers of applications, as well as the number that we deem eligible or admit, as well as the number that ultimately participate as well. In terms of demographics, you'll see that there's been some fluctuation over the years, but the teal bar on the outside of each group is kind of our average across these 4 years. So you see that we're serving a significant number of underrepresented students, female students. We do have a majority of our students that are traditional age in that 18 to 21 bracket, but that's a pretty sizable non-traditional population as well. Most of our students in the program are Pell eligible, first generation, and of significant interest to me, about 75% are in district, which means one thing we thought the program might do is attract folks from outside of our district who have a goal of ultimately attending UNC. And so we do have a significant number of students who are choosing to come to Ames first because of this program, giving them a unique opportunity to go to UNC. So just a couple quotes I put in here. This is from one of our peer mentors in the program who's graduating this semester. She said, prior to joining the Ames to UNC program, I was unaware of how to achieve my academic goals. The Ames to UNC advising program is like no other. My advisors helped me discover the best major and minor to support my future career, and then worked with me to select the best courses to not only satisfy my degree at Ames, but my degree at UNC. In terms of how our students have performed here, 87% of our participants have been retained from their first term into their second term, and 76% have been retained into their second year, so year-to-year retention. The average GPA for our participants at Ames is just over a 3.0, and of note, this last cohort had an average GPA of a 3.6. The average credit load for our participants averages out at just over 10 credits as well. So we're certainly seeing great performance while they're here with us in those first 2 years in the program. In terms of some performance over time, and I'm not going to go too in depth with this, and I know credit hour load looks like it jumped significantly, went from 10 to 10.6. I just want to note that. But you'll see that our retention's pretty steady. Our average GPA has increased. The term retention has also held pretty consistent. This one up in the top left-hand corner here, we don't have our spring 2023 data for those students that were retained to fall. So don't let that alarm you. We don't think we've had a significant drop off. It's just the data is incomplete there. But pretty good performance for us, for our students while they're at Ames. One thing to note is once they've arrived at UNC, we now have participants in the program who have received both the Reicher and Stryker scholarships at UNC, two of the more prestigious scholarships offered there. And we've had multiple students to receive both of those. In terms of progress, what they've done here, 227 of our participants have earned 270 unique credentials while here at Ames. 173 students have now transitioned from Ames to UNC, including 65 with this previous semester in the spring 2023 graduation. And already in the program, 43 of our participants have graduated from UNC as well. So they've completed the full journey from Ames to UNC. In terms of transitions by year, you'll see that continues to grow. Again, I told you we started in the kind of early days of the pandemic. You see it held pretty steady. And then this last year, we saw a significant jump with now 65 students transitioning to UNC in the previous year. To date, while at Ames, 230 of our participants have been awarded nearly $200,000 in scholarships at Ames. So thank you to Kelly and her team. But we have top-notch students in the program, so it's not surprising at all that they're earning scholarships while here at Ames as well. Some bragging points for you. Our participants, and this is while they're at UNC, have been retained at higher rates than the native students who started as freshmen at UNC. In fact, they have an 85% retention rate once they get to UNC. And they take on average 4.1 terms to complete their four-year degree at UNC. So they're with them 2 years ideally. 4.1 terms is basically right at 2 years. So certainly great for the program, and UNC is thrilled with that statistic as well. Another quote for you as I kind of wrap things up. This is from one of our graduates back in the summer of 2021, also a Reicher scholar at UNC. Said the program facilitated my seamless transition to UNC, and I'm a proud recipient of the Reicher Scholarship, an esteemed group on campus. I'm particularly appreciative of the program's invaluable academic guidance, which not only ensured my maintenance of a 3.0 GPA, but also opened numerous scholarship opportunities for me at UNC. As a result, I am graduating without the burden of student debts, a significant achievement I attribute to the support and resources provided by the Ames to UNC program. And before I do open it up for questions, I do want to make note of two things. One, I happen to sit on a group with NASPA. That's the NASPA Orientation, Transition, and Retention Knowledge Community. Ames to UNC has been nominated for an award showcasing collaboration between institutions with that group. Don't know the outcome yet, and I unfortunately can't vote for them because I work for the school. But NASPA is the Student Affairs Professional Association. It's the largest student affairs. It used to stand for the National Association of Student Professional Administrators. Now it's just NASPA Administrators and Student Affairs, and doesn't actually mean anything, but this group recognizes transition programs, things of the nature of Ames to UNC, and the specific award looks at collaboration between institutions. I would also note that I have asked to be here today Rachel Veretto, who is our transitions director, as well as Stephen, Jackie, and Seda, who are Ames to UNC team. So if you all could just stand up and wave, please. They're the folks that make all this possible. So with that, do you have any questions?
Very nice. I would, on the slide that is the demographics. I know during the pandemic, things all changed. And we saw a drop off of male students. And I noticed you have the female demographics. Do you have any information on male demographics?
We can get that to you. For the most part, it's the missing part of the denominator there, but we can get that to you as well.
Yeah, I just don't want them slipping away. Thank you.
Yes, on your progress the 173 have transitioned to UNC. And then this coming fall, 65 will graduate. Am I correct?
65 transitioned to UNC this fall.
Oh,
So that they started there as juniors.
oh, for spring of 65. And
They graduated from us in spring and
so you're, I guess, all encompassing 43 graduates from UNC. Am I correct?
today.
Out of 173, correct? Okay.
And we're in our, for all intents and purposes, our fourth year.
Fourth year, that's 25%. Yeah. Thank you.
Any other questions, comments? Thank you, Dr. Bukowski. Appreciate it. You will also see the president's meetings of note. Are there any questions on what's been going on with me?
I think you didn't add the conference, the ACCT conference.
Second bullet point down. All it says is ACCT conference. I didn't list all the other, that's okay. Any other? Yeah, there's always lots of stuff. It's fun. Anything else? Okay, then I would like to ask if there are any supervisors in the audience that would like to introduce their new employees. Would you please come on up to the podium? No need to wait for the person in front of you. Just go ahead and line up by the flags, please. And it looks like Eric will start.
It's me again. Hello, everybody. I have the great appreciation to welcome our new aviation program coordinator, which is a new position for our department, and the timing couldn't be better with the A&P. She is our new aviation program coordinator, Caroline Coppin. She comes from Hawaii, moved to Colorado in '97. Interesting fact, she was a former flight instructor with 1,200 hours herself and was a high school teacher here in Fort Collins, Northern Colorado area. So brings a lot of great knowledge to our department, and we welcome her. So thank you.
Hi there, I'm Becca Herman. I'm the Director of Student Leadership in the Student Life Office. I'm really excited to introduce Logan Fitzgerald. She's our graphic design and media specialist. She is one of those people Dee mentioned in her report, students who graduated and we hired here. So she was at Ames as a student from 2020 to 2022, which, as you'll recall, was an interesting time to be a student here. She became a contingent worker for us that following year. Oh, sorry, she started as a work study in our office, her second year in that program, and then as a contingent worker, and then finally as a full-time employee in April. Since she's been with us for that long, she's actually not really new. She has already created 180 unique design elements for us for our marketing across that time. And she enjoys all things nature. She put it as being up in trees, out on any water, or snowed in.
That concludes the president's report, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Dr. B. All right, next on the agenda, reflections and comments from board members about Ames. Anything good to say about Ames? Anybody have anything? Who wants to go first?
I will.
Okay, thanks.
I'm not so sure we didn't hit a lot of this as we were talking.
think
Just
so.
on, great gratitude towards Ames as a college and a community entity of what we do. And then the innovation continues to just be exciting when we think about the AMP and we think about what's happening with AWIC and the potential of AWIC and Alquist. And just, I think, I've said it for the last 6 months, I think, but skate where the puck's going and not where it is. And I think we continue to do that. So well done.
I could echo, of course, Marilyn, that you said. I'd still like to really appreciate what Chuck has done with the budget. Every time he presents, we know where we're going. We know we have potential for hiccups. And so we can vote on improving the Ames Community College for our students, for our community, for everyone. So that's really nice. I really appreciate the student representative, the faculty representative, and the staffing representative. I mean, it's nice to know what's happening in the school because we don't see it every day. And it makes me feel like you are all really connected. You're doing a great job. And this might be a month early, but I really would like to say to Lyle and to Mark, you know, it's been really wonderful to have you here as mentors because I had no idea what I was getting into. And you guys have really helped me along and you've helped the college. So might be a month early, but I really appreciate it. So.
Mark.
This meeting had fire hydrants full of information. I mean, if you read this whole, and we couldn't do the work session in full. It had to go over to next month. And the data, I love data. I love ratios, statistics and things like that. It's nice. It's frustrating when I see, we have to hire 25 to 30% of our staff every year. That's gotta be frustrating, but you do a great job and we appreciate it because you do interview people. Keeping staff is so important. What this college does is always impressive. The reports are generated in such a fashion that they're reasonably easy to understand. And I ask questions and, I just see this college growing. What we're deciding between this month and next month is the next 25 years of experience for the college to live through and experience and work from. And that's probably true of the boards that were 15, 20 years ago, making those decisions in the same light. They probably didn't have the wealth that we have, and we always want to be respectful of it. And that, Chuck always tells me, I keep pinching myself to see if this is really, is this really real, that we can afford to do things, we can pivot and do great things with this college. And it's doing great things. I mean, believe me, I am so impressed every time I walk on campus. And I've learned a lot. I have learned a lot about this college and about education. So I'm very impressed, very thankful for everything that all of you have bestowed upon one another in this board too, as for that matter. And great job, keep it going. This train can't stop. It's going for another 54 years, or are we on the 55th year? We're in the 55th year. Congratulations. Thank you.
Thank you, Mark. Well, I'd certainly echo everything that's been said. I guess today I got to reflect on where this college has come from and the people that laid the groundwork for it back in 1967. And I was thinking about that earlier when we talked about innovation centers, how this kind of resembles one, how we started and how they tried it in a few people's garages and places and it worked. So then they went and bought a building and everything, and they moved us over to the building and that worked a little bit better. So they bought a bigger building and look where we're at today. So, but the community has done an incredible job of supporting this college. Our staff, our cabinet, our presidents, our current president, they bring great things to the board. They thoroughly vet these projects before they're brought to the board. As I said earlier, I think we all said it. We don't have a lot of questions left to ask because they've vetted these things so well. And when they bring them to us, they're almost, I think it was said earlier, no brainers. But it's great to have that kind of a team to come up with all of these ideas and these projects and these programs. And then we get to say yes to them. and then watch them grow and watch them prosper and put students out in their community to support their families and grow the community and all the things that go with that. So I think that Ames, to me, is probably, if there is such a thing, kind of the epitome of a model of a college. If someone were to want to set up a college and run it, I think they should follow the Ames model. I don't think they could go very doggone wrong. I really don't. So congratulations to all of you out there. Some of you I may not see next week, so I'll take advantage to be a month earlier, or next month. I'll be a month earlier. It's been an absolute honor to work with you and to see the things we've done in the last 8 years is phenomenal. And I think we started the groundwork today for another 5 to 8 years for all of you to have some great fun and do some great things. So I want to wish you well in the future. So go Ames. We're all in. So with that, I would entertain a motion to entertain, or, does anybody have anything to say about the assessment? I think we've pretty much said it all. I think we've said it all in our comments. So I would go ahead and ask for a motion to adjourn the meeting. I have a motion. I have a second. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Meeting adjourned.